Not in that
This
order.
is episode, oh gosh.
Oh, I talked over you.
This is episode 262, Guitar for the Table.
On this week's episode, I shouldn't say it like that because on this very special episode of The Tone Control, we talk about travel guitars and reactive load boxes and optical guitar pickups for nylon string guitars that Derek hates, and it's fun.
It is.
It is.
For another episode with no show notes, what are we on? Like a year of no episodes?
A year of having don't know what we're doing. It's of all the Tone Control episodes, this is one.
This is the most recent.
Yes. And still don't have a catchphrase.
Blorp. Last time I said slurp. I'm going to carry it through.
Hi, Derek.
Hi, Justin.
Hi. So what do you want to talk about?
I don't know, man.
Fucking hell.
Listen, folks, we're coming in 40 minutes late tonight, and there's no show. So, truly, this time there's nothing in the notes.
There's no notes. I can think of only one interesting guitar-related thing to think about, but honestly, what's on my brain right now is the fucking assholes that make OBS. Don't get me wrong. Every other day, I think they're fantastic. It's just, there's something, and a few days ago, I don't even know how long ago, there was an update. And usually everything's fine. Like everything's been fine with updates for so long. You just do them. It's like no big deal. I glance quickly at the notes. Okay, whatever. Apparently I didn't glance hard enough at this one. And I didn't even know something was weird until the other day I was recording something in it and my audio was multed onto a bunch of different channels and they were all slightly out of phase with each other. So I was like and then in my video editor, I just I don't know why, I just deleted all those other channels and then it was fine. So I didn't even think anything of it. So there's this new thing in OBS for Mac. All the audio devices have this enable down mixing. So I guess it could interpret multi-channel devices and just basically squeeze them all onto one channel. Okay. So that's what was going on is my shit, I have a left and right microphone into this, and it was putting all my mics onto all the channels. Anyway, but I was like, oh, whatever. So I'll fix that up. Yeah. But something about that, it made it so that nothing in OBS was working correctly, and it totally restructured the way this other app that routes audio. I have a lot of complicated routing that goes into producing this because I need to send the audio to Derek and I need to send the audio from the capture card thing to the thing. And then it has to record on multi-channels here and all this stuff. And it's it's been flawless for I don't know how many episodes. And I just when you don't open the settings on something for that long, it's did something change? Would I even know? Yeah,
I know what you mean. Well,
it's OBS's fault, it turns out. And it took me fully 30 minutes just of rebooting my computer over and over again, helplessly trying to figure it out. I'm upset.
Well, what's weird is it was working. And then you were like, something's acting a little funny. I'll be right back. And then you were gone for kind of a while.
Oh my God, you're right. We could hear each other before. And that's when I restarted my computer for real 5 times in a row just to get the second monitor to come back on. You're right. Something changed during... So you know what? So probably, here's the thing. Probably that down mixing thing in OBS only half broke things because I hadn't restarted since doing that update. And then I restarted since doing that update and whatever's different in the audio subsystem was fuck you, Justin. God.
Looks like he needs this today. Would be a shame if it didn't work.
Oh my God.
It's okay though. We can make it a short one too because there's nothing to talk about. There's actually some stuff to talk about. I posted in the server as I do. What do you want us to talk about? And there's some stuff that comes up every now and then. People chime in with a few things, and some of it's like, but what is the podcast substance here? One of the suggestions was from Andrew and was about a travel guitar that's made out of carbon fiber and stuff. And the pitch is that it can withstand, or his pitch anyway, was that it can withstand like temperature fluctuations and humidity fluctuations and stuff for travel. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, like that's not, on paper, that's a great idea. I think that checks the boxes. I think travel guitars are dumb though. So like, I have a hard time with travel guitars. I think because they're like, probably 75% the size of regular guitars. So
well, that's right, because it's not a travel guitar if it's the same size as a regular guitar, right? That's also that's the other side of it. You need it to be durable, but also
durable and small, and they're not small enough that it I think makes it worth to not bring your regular guitar with you.
They don't fit in the overhead bin. Well, or I guess they probably do. You're just the asshole taking up more space than everybody else.
Well, here's the thing with guitars and flight travel, which I've never done, but I have looked into a few times. It is hard cases need to be checked. They need to go under the plane. Soft cases like mono bags or other just regular gig bags can be your carry-on, and they can go in the overhead bin.
Oh, really?
And, yeah. And
so why can't hard cases go in the overhead bin then?
I don't actually know, but that's the thing.
Because like hard shell suitcases that happen to fit up there, I see people doing that all the time. So
maybe because of how long they are, I'm not sure. But soft bags can go with you. And if it's not going to go in the bin, it has to go in a seat that you have to buy a ticket for.
You have to buy a ticket for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, don't do that, I guess. But
well, it depends. I mean,
if you want, I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money.
Right. Depends how much of a baller you are, I guess.
Yeah. I think I don't want to have to learn about flying with my gear. Let's just leave it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're stressed out enough, right? I don't know. Some people are probably very relaxed when they fly, people who travel all the time, but I'm not.
I'm not. I think when traveling with an instrument as big as a guitar, I think you can kind of tell them like, I've got this big thing and it's my carry-on. Can I get on and put it in the bin so it's safe? And I think they say yes, because I've been on flights with people with instruments and it's not a problem. So I don't know. Just tell them it's your emotional support guitar.
We were in the summer, we did some flying, and I do remember a particular person who was bringing a bass, and it had a hard shell case, and they made her, they x-rayed it and they made her open it. They sort of gave her a hard time. I think it was I don't know, now my memories, or was it like one of these kind of mono case things where it's really a hard shell, but it's kind of nylon-y on the outside. Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit padded.
Backpack material. Yeah.
But really, like, if you kicked it, you weren't kicking the bass, right?
No.
But as I recall, they gave her a hard time about it too. They were all bent out of shape about it. Not like you can't bring this, but it was like at security.
It's a hassle. Yeah.
They were like they were just really upset that I don't know what they couldn't see what they wanted to on the X-ray or something like that, or they just felt like this is unusual. I mean,
that thing can look into the bits on a laptop. Like it can look into your bass. It's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's annoying. Huh. Well, yeah, I don't know. So here's what's going on here. You ever like bring your kid home from daycare and they're just like over it?
Like they've just had daycare was enough today.
They've just had enough, and then they come home and they're like, "Why isn't this over yet? This day or whatever it is." So Jack had this is the thing. Like, has a good day at daycare, and then comes home and is just a menace to society.
He's a pill. Yeah,
he's absolutely just we call him a fuss bucket. A bucket just full of fuss. Yeah. And it's a drag when you're like, I don't see my kid that much. Like, let's be real. I work. He's at daycare. So we have limited hours per day. And then he comes home and he's just like, oh, I don't want to spend time with a kid that's screaming in my face and I can't calm him down. And like, that's really hard. And you do the thing when you're like, okay, like I'm going to I'm going to pull out my good parenting toolkit and just like get down with it. Hey pal, what's bothering you today? You know, it's okay to feel feeling and do all that stuff. And he's like, right in your face. It's like, well, I tried, you know, so
the best move is to sort of tap out for a little while. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to like have to tap out after I've only seen him for 20 minutes.
Right. Yeah. I can I can think of many times where, you know, I'm in good parent, adult, regulated. I am in charge of my feelings and emotions and my reaction. You know what I mean? Like I'm in charge mode. And it's like, all right, kid, you can't outpatience me. I am 40 fucking years old. Buckle up, because if you think this is what we're doing, you better get ready, because I will win this. You know, I will win this emotional staring contest. And then there are plenty of times where it's like I could do anything, and then 2 seconds later I'm like, fuck you, you little shit.
Stupid. Yeah. Well, stop being such a baby. Yeah.
And it's like, so somebody take over, because I'm about to throw some words.
It's the thing of like, yeah, I'm trying. So like, I would appreciate it if you met me in the middle, or at least like stop sobbing so hard that you could hear the words I'm saying to you. So like, that's the thing. Like, you can't break the cycle of sobbing and just like moaning and fussing and being a pill, like you said.
Yeah.
To let me talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was just kind of one of those. You know, after an absolutely stellar weekend with him, which is maybe the cause, I'm not sure. This kid had, you know what I mean?
You spent all your ability points on the weekend. Yeah. You're just out.
Yeah. So he has an upcoming allergist appointment because Jack is allergic to eggs. And so we have an EpiPen for him and stuff like that. And it's a whole thing. So it's been a year since we've had him tested, and he's going back to get retested because kids can often grow out of allergies, including very commonly eggs. So we're fingers crossed that he outgrows it. But we had to go get blood drawn on him from him to get ready ahead of this appointment, which is in a few days. And, you know, I was not looking forward to this moment of having to sit my kid down at the phlebotomist and have them poke him with a needle and draw blood. And he's like, you know, he's 20 months old. So
yeah,
I was fully expecting this to be
putting earplugs in.
Yeah. And it was me and Beth. We were there. There were 2 phlebotomists there. They were like, yep, you know, we do this. And I was like, okay. And I was like, is there anything different about like drawing blood on a little kid? Like,
this is your job, so please, I trust you. Please do the right thing, you know?
Yeah. And so they had him out. They put the little tourniquet on him, and they just like did it. And he was like, like he made a little bit of a noise that was like, you know, that hurt. And then he's like watching it, and he's just got this look on his face like, what is this? You guys do this? Like kind of a, whoa, you know, okay. And so then they do the thing. We only needed 1 vial, and they bandage him up, and he was like, okay. No tears, not a one.
That's
not even
I'm really blown away by that.
Not a scream, not a fuss, no, just like a little bit of this chair is uncomfortable kind of thing. Like a little bit of why is everybody all over me kind of thing. And
this
but
feels
not
unusual,
even like not even there's nothing like that.
Wow.
And I was like, what is happening? We have won
Where am I?
parenthood today. Like we have succeeded. Like this, it's all right. And then later that day, he got his first haircut, killed it again. Mm-hmm. This is a new sensation, a day of new sensations for this kid. And he's just like, okay, I guess.
Well, that's what happened today, though. He got to the end of the day, and he just realized, hey, fuck you, dude. You just did a bunch of shit that I didn't expect. And you know
I didn't
what?
approve of this.
I'm going to tell you about it now.
Yeah.
2 days later.
And then I've also heard, I'm going on about my kid too much. I've heard this thing where they say your kid like freaks out or has a meltdown when they get home or something like that, or when they see you for the first time that day. And it's because, this is what nice people say, they feel safe around you. And they know that like they can let loose and not have to like keep that bottled up or something like that. And I'm like, okay.
All right.
Is 20 months old when we learn that you should like keep it together in public? I don't really think so. You know what I mean? I don't actually know, but it feels like I don't know if he's quite there to know that like he shouldn't melt down. Else maybe not shouldn't, but maybe it's just like an overwhelming emotional state that just comes out as a tantrum sort of, but it's not even tantrum. It's weird, man. And like I don't disagree with that. Like there's something there, but it's also like or it's just a toddler.
It's an interesting thought, but like, also sometimes you get to the end of the day and it's just like, sometimes you can't control that. Like even as an adult, you feel that way sometimes. It's just
I feel it right now.
I'm having an unreasonable emotional reaction to this thing that should be an 8 and I'm treating it like it's a 10, you know what I mean? Or something like that, And I don't know, I usually think if something like that is sufficient to explain, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Then we don't need to invoke this other stuff because it's actually like probably a little more normal.
Oh, it's super normal.
He's a person, man.
It's super normal. And the thing I try to remember is like he's not giving me a hard time. He's having a hard time. And you know those little things. But then your deep breaths before we hit record about OBS just got me thinking. Like what's funny is not funny, but I find that doing things like deep breaths just don't help. And, like when I'm kind of fired up, like I am not one that I was going to say responds well. It's not like I respond poorly, but like interventions about calming down don't really help me that much. I just need time and space. But anyway.
Time is your only good one.
This is not, armchair therapy with the tone control.
But isn't it? Well, sort of for a second we were talking about guitars. Remember that?
Yep, there was a guitar thing we talked about.
Carbon fiber guitars. I don't know. Does that sound good enough to be worth bringing? This is a highly personal topic. So whatever we say that the listener disagrees with, it's because it's personal to you. But here's why you're wrong. Why are you bringing your guitar in the first place on this trip? Is it because you need to play it, in which case you don't need a travel guitar, you need a real guitar? Is it because you want to play it because you're super attached to playing your guitar a lot, in which case the travel guitar is not going to satisfy you? For the reasons that it's made of carbon fiber, so it doesn't sound properly like a guitar, because guess what? If carbon fiber guitars sounded like guitars, they would make guitars out of carbon fiber all the time. Mm-hmm. And it's also too small. And unless, there's a momentary novelty about playing a cute little guitar, then that's not going to work either.
I think when I was a kid and I was learning guitar, still in these early stages of guitar, I remember traveling with mine on road trips because the following week I had a lesson that I had to be practiced for. So there was also like a little bit of you're going to have to run your scales on vacation. Sorry, dude, because you're going to forget them, because I was so early in that stage, But also not in the realm of needing a travel guitar. Right?
That was a real guitar, which you're in a car, so you're fine with. Yeah.
Right. And so So I don't know. I think...
And like you said, they're not small enough to count as small.
Yeah, they're not even half the size.
It's not I have a desktop computer, but when I'm traveling, I bring my laptop. That is magnificently orders of magnitude smaller, right?
Yes.
And more portable, right? And a phone, et cetera, versus a TV or whatever the fuck, right? Mm-hmm. Compare use cases, because guess what? My phone's my TV sometimes.
If I had to travel, what am I trying to say? I think the only time I would travel on a plane with my full size guitar is if I was moving or traveling to perform with that guitar. Or record or write or something.
But you wouldn't be bringing your travel guitar.
Exactly. So like what scenario do you actually bring a travel guitar?
So my dad has one from Taylor. And it's...
Does it fold? Is it that one?
It's a foldy. Oh. As I recall, it's a foldy. I don't think it's carbon fiber, and it's one of those it's small. It's pretty... I wonder what the scale is, because... I think, and I'm sort of channeling these years old memories of like when he got this thing and sort of tried it out. Oh, cool. Yeah, shoot me
travel and small body guitars.
If you find something from Taylor, let me know. I'll put it up. But
yeah,
but it's, as I recall, like, yeah, I don't think I've seen it again. In fact, I wonder if he sold it or something, because I think he kind of felt the same way. It was sort of like, I don't. Why would I want this? I either have room for a full guitar, or I just decide not to.
Maybe
bring
they don't
one.
make it anymore, because I'm seeing other small guitars, small scale. They call them the Baby series. Like the Taylor Big Baby or the Taylor Baby, like they're minis, but they're acoustics.
Here's something on Sweetwater. Yeah, they have Baby acoustics.
Yes, I've heard they're pretty good, the Baby series, but goodness, why can't I find anything about this actual folding guitar? Was that a real thing? Am I gaslighting myself?
Well, I don't know now. Like, I feel like I remember the folding thing, but maybe I made it up. Should we look at
remember
Taylor's
some of
website?
those travel ones, the small ones from Taylor were bolt-on, and the bolts went through the front, and they were on the fretboard.
That's what I remember.
I don't. That doesn't fold. Then I think it's just that's the joint.
Yeah, or like, what did it have, a truss rod or something that was in there?
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, $399, $699.
Right. Here's a $699 one. I feel like this is it. This is the thing that I was thinking of.
Also, like, what's the deal here, right? So you're spending $700 on a travel guitar, but with
this one has electronics.
With electronics and a Koa top, or a Koa top back and side.
But they
it's a nice,
yeah,
right? Like, it's where's
there's
the
mahogany
line
and so on. Yeah,
I guess, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, why are you investing in the better materials and pickups and features and specs?
This is the Taylor Swift model. So this is why you're investing in the Taylor Swift model, is because you want the visual here.
Does it say "Live, Laugh, Love" on it? No.
It says "Love, Love, Love."
Okay.
It says "Love" 3 times. Triple love. Trip love. What's in here? Oh, a serial number.
Oh, cool.
Why don't we take a picture of the serial number and put that? Sweetwater, what are you doing right now?
It has one.
You're looking at, oh wait, this is like an actual, this is the guitar that's in stock. So this is their move then. Sweetwater's like, this is a real guitar. You're looking at the pictures of the one you'll buy.
That. I didn't know that you didn't know that. They called
Derek,
right there.
Let me tell you something about the Tone Control podcast. I don't know stuff about guitars that you don't tell me. So this is really just, let's get ourselves
it's right there,
out
guitar
here.
gallery, right at the top of the page. So if you look at any guitar that they have in stock, they'll show you other models of that exact one. So you can like
other
pick
units.
the top. Yeah, you can pick the weight, you can pick the actual like wood grain option that you like, that kind of stuff. But I'm stuck on like, why would you spend more on a small, not very good travel guitar that is like kind of neither a guitar nor whatever the hell else, right? And like
neither a pea nor a nut. Yeah.
Right. And then pay to like have the upgrade go into like, well, I want the Koa one. Is it for the sound?
Yeah.
Is it for the look? Because the Koa one looks cool, but I would take that $550 and put it into a full-size guitar that is 15% larger.
What's the size? I want to know what this
is. It's a 3/4 size, so it's the scale length is shorter.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right, 3/4 size Dreadnought. So, I mean, my memory of it is, I mean, it doesn't sound like a plastic travel guitar, right? It sounded better than that, but it wasn't like he wasn't going to want to play this. Like, in any case, like, this is still a little cumbersome on a plane.
Yep.
Right? And because it's just not smaller enough. And if it's not on a plane, like, compared to the other Taylors he has that are fantastic, like, there's no way. There's no way. He's just going to be like, meh.
Well, I would, God, $550 though, like I would still put that money towards gear I'd have at home and not on vacation.
Yeah.
Right? Or if I don't know, like if you have a travel guitar and you're listening to this, can you tell me what you use it for? Because I'm just really stuck on like what scenario is this thing going to be the preferred option?
Yeah. Do you like it? Was it a good investment? Do you actually use it? Do you actually use it for what it's for? You know
what I think this is a better fit for is like the beach house couch campfire guitar that like you can just like kick around and it's just hanging around for anyone to just have and play. And it's just like the house guitar for the table, you know?
Guitar for the table. Okay.
Family style. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think that's, but what do you call that? So they pitch
and
it
why
as
does that have to be a small one? Why can't it just be some full-sized $500 guitar? Or a $300 acoustic guitar? Because I think to a certain extent you're paying for Taylor trying to do the best fucking travel guitar they possibly can. Why don't you just have an Epiphone or something for that, for your campfire purposes?
Like doing the best. It's awful taste, but great execution, right? Like it's to take something that's not a great idea, but do it really well. And
really put your back into it.
I respect that, but also travel guitars are dumb. Welcome to my TED Talk. Travel guitars are dumb.
Yeah, I think that's where we're not talking ourselves out of travel guitars are dumb, for sure. So that's it. That's what it comes down to, right?
Yeah, how long would you have to be on vacation for you to go, I want to...
If you're
I know you don't play guitar a ton, but like...
I know, but I'm not trying to... I wasn't going to say that back to you. Like, I get what you're saying. But once again, if you were on a really long trip, you'd bring your full guitar.
Yeah. Like
because it would make it even more worth it. You know,
small margin.
Get a climate controlled like case with the reflective, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you really have to send it or... Dude, rent a fucking guitar at your destination.
Yeah, like
right? Can you borrow a guitar from, you know what I mean? Can you borrow one from Amazon Prime for fuck's sake?
Yeah, I bet you could.
I bet you could.
I bet you could do it with Sweetwater.
I have a vacation that's less than 30 days. Open a fucking trial of Amazon Prime.
Yeah, get your free month, get a guitar, return it.
Get your free 30, get it in there, get it shipped to you in 2 days at your vacation location.
Get it shipped to your destination.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, okay.
You have a 2-day window so you can nail it. You know, you can have it arrive the day after you do. Go to town, and then decide I don't know, what do you tell Amazon? I'm moving away. Back to where
decided I didn't want it. Like, you don't even need
exactly.
an answer. But
Jeff Bezos, you know.
Sorry, you messed up this one, Jeff.
You fucking blew it, buddy.
Yeah, guitars are supposed to be full size. I don't know. I'm like in a weird mood, and I think it's showing in my hatred for it.
We're finding all the options other than travel guitar is the right move. So for those in the world who think travel guitar is the right move for them, who have used a travel guitar and liked it, please let us know. Hey, this is what we do now. We start topics that make everybody actually respond to us and email us and have something to say.
Like the travel guitar. Who do I think of when I think of travel guitar? I think of like maybe someone who travels a lot, like you're saying, right? Is constantly in and out of airports and stuff. And just really, and maybe travels alone. I think that's another specific detail. So like a traveling salesperson, let's say.
Kind of changes how much stuff is reasonable to bring.
Yeah. Maybe. But that's a very small audience.
Yeah.
Right? Like you've got say you're a traveling salesperson and you're, rolling around with like a computer bag and your clothes and luggage and things like that. And then a guitar case. Okay.
You definitely have to have like a backpack guitar case though, and you have to have one anyway, even if it's this size. It doesn't go on your rolly bag because it's this small, right?
You know what though? They don't make is guitar backpacks, like combo units that are for travel guitars. They make them for full size guitars.
Yeah.
So it's like, guess what? You're carrying around something the size of a full-size guitar anyway. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'm just trying to think like, okay, you're on the road a lot and it's like you're in the hotel at night and you got nothing to do and that's what it's for. But again, that audience is so small. And I think, I don't know, do you think they're calling it travel instead of student? Because it's a 3/4 size? Like that's often the like child size guitar.
Student. No,
yeah, like
student,
the Les Paul
doesn't
Jr.
student just mean, I thought student just means cheaply constructed because you don't know if you're going to stick with it or not. That was always my interpretation of that.
It's also the scale length a lot of times. Whoop.
Okay.
My microphone has other plans, I guess.
The microphone's like, you're too angry.
Yeah.
Somebody mute this guy.
I'm just going to dip out of here. This thing is like, it's a great stand, but it's also like a little too heavy for its own good. Anyway. Let's punt it. I'm tired of talking about traveler's guitars.
Okay. Let's fucking move on.
So actually, you know, there was a comment in Discord when I asked about the Two Notes Torpedo Captor X for the home and the gig from K52 parentheses Shoop.
Shoop. I think when you have an unpronounceable name, you have to put a pronounceable parens. So Shoop.
Yeah, Shoop. So I pulled up a few tabs here about some like the Torpedo Captor X and some similar products, and I thought maybe we would just touch on that again since it's been a little while. You want to hit me with a sound though, J-Dog?
Oh shit, we haven't done any of that yet. What is this?
Yeah, this is still the intro.
Yeah, this is the now for the show.
I'm going to drop a link in the chat right here for you. The Two Notes Torpedo Captor X. This is for tube amp lovers. So if you don't love tube amps, you can go to hell.
Get fucked. This is this. Yes.
It's a reactive load box. If you're not familiar.
Tubes amps.
Yep. A reactive load box, tube amp, attenuator, and a cab simulator with dynamic IR technology. And this product, the Captor, has been taken out of this box and put into other things. I have one in my Rev amp, as you've probably heard me mention a ton. And, you know, this is like a little kind of large pedal size, I guess. It's a little set-top box type thing. Mm-hmm. And it gives you the option to run your tube amp into it and not play it at a crushingly loud volume for home or for stage or studio or whatever.
Yeah, so they'll lower it. It's like a resistor, right? But it also can just go totally without a speaker.
Correct.
Right. So you can silence your amp with this without harming the amp. Because that's the other thing is like amps that are made this way, it's because they have a load box in them or they have some way of like removing the tube circuitry from being turned on kind of thing. But tubes without a load attached to them, without the speaker impedance, they will break.
Yep. So this stops that from happening. And I've heard nothing but great things about all of the Two Notes tech. I've only used the one that's built into my Rev, and I have nothing bad to say about it, but I also have nothing to compare it to other than like Helix or something, which is not really the same thing at all. So I think the Two Notes or any comparable product like within that like $50 to $100 range window of products is probably going to be pretty darn similar. So whether it's the Captor X or like the reactive load IR from Sir, the same price, it kind of does the same thing. I've heard a lot of people compare the two, like they come up in conversation together a lot. So I think it kind of comes down to like, you know, which ecosystem you might want to be a part of. Which has the features you actually care about, stuff like that.
The like reactive thing. So this the thing is like these aren't as simple as just putting a bunch of resistors there to simulate a speaker, right? Because there's actually a little more to simulating a speaker, and the signal that you get from it isn't accurate unless you do some of these things. So this is called reactive load IR. The Torpedo products. The Two Notes products, Torpedo and the other things, because they come in all different sizes, They also are reactive. They're sort of so these are like basically, I guess I was about to say feature parity, but I don't know if some of them have slightly different buttons or something. But
I think they have slightly different things that make it their thing. The SIR, for example, I believe does not come with any IRs on it. Like it is an IR loader for you to put your stuff into. And so the 2 Notes one comes with their dynamic IR tech and like a bundle of their IRs, as far as I know. Yeah. Mine did. So
2 Notes makes a lot of software products too. So
tons, yeah. And then even now, UA makes the aux stomp, which is only a speaker emulator. There's no amp emulation either. Like these are not amp emulators, but it's the same kind of thing. So you could run an Iridium into the aux stomp, for example. You could run any of the UA's amp pedals into this to be a separate speaker control. It's kind of all the same, I think, at this point. Like it's like I said, it's really down to like which universe you want to be a member of, it seems like.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess what's the cost like?
Like $600.
2 Notes is so basically the same.
2 Notes is $599. The reactive load is $599. The UA stomp, aux stomp is $399. Okay, but I mean, I would still put that in the same zone.
Yeah.
As far as what the product is doing. So. Although the aux is a little different, I guess. The aux is looking more at like the type of microphone. Like it's more of like an IR interface than the others.
Okay. Aux stomp. I gotta have a look at this. Oh, because it's that pedal format. Yeah, I
it's the pedal format of the set-top box.
Dynamic speaker.
Yeah.
Emulator. Oh God, get your coupons off my screen. All right. Oh, this one has the app. Okay, I remember looking at this. Because, they've got like microphone adjustments and things like that for how, there's a full like speaker and room kind of simulator thing going on. That seems like a pretty fucking good deal. What it usually comes down to with UA is the sort of limited what all you can add to it. Like it's really good what's here, but the others have the sort of IR loader expandability where you could probably throw whatever you want, whereas this is probably limited to what UA wants to publish to it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I don't know what the deal is with like loading your own IRs into this.
I doubt you can.
Yeah.
You can save...
But it's also got the other UA stuff in it.
Yeah.
Like the 1176 and whatever else.
This right here, this is the UA sort of like a MO, right?
Jaw-dropping speaker cabinet and room emulations.
Sure. Ours won't let you load whatever IRs you want.
Whatever bullshit IR you might have, yeah.
Ours goes far beyond common IR loaders. Basically, they just position their stuff as like, it's just so much better sounding. It's just a better
one, yeah.
Right. It's just so much better because we're Universal Audio.
I really like the one that says like, what did it say on the...
they have some great quotes, UA.
3-dimensional album-ready guitar tone. That's my favorite one.
Album ready. I mean, okay, I don't know, man. Whatever. Plenty of this shit. Plenty of this shit. It's album ready.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Anything's album ready if you put it on an album.
Oh no. Yeah, it's so funny. I love Universal Audio. I love so much of their stuff, but I do find their marketing is so like pinky up,
Yeah.
So much so.
That's the thing. It's important to be critical of the things you love, I think. And that's what this is. Like I don't use UA products, but I trust them a lot. And I know they know what they're doing. But album ready guitar tone, excuse me.
They are true full-blooded cork sniffers. consequently, their shit sounds fantastic, but it is not the only shit that sounds fantastic. And that is what they are selling, is the idea that their shit is like on the moon and everybody else is just orbiting. So I don't know, but it's good. UA is among the good sounding stuff. So the only thing like this that I've ever actually used is I used like a homemade load box with my amp for a little while just to sort of try it out to see like would I like the sound of my amps more. So like my friend had one that he'd made and it was literally like it was like a giant can actually take the power like rheostat. It was like a massive adjustable resistor.
That's cool.
It was heavy and it hummed a little bit when you used it.
Wait, it wasn't a what is the thing that I'm thinking of? The Eddie Van Halen Brown sound thing. It's not one of those, is it? The Variac.
Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe that's it's made from the same way. I mean, it was just this homemade like load attenuator basically. Okay. And it wasn't going to make your amp silent, but it would reduce it. And there was a great big knob. And when you turn the knob, you could feel the brushes on that massive thing. You know,
that's really cool.
Scraped because it was just so much energy flowing through there. But
it's like the opposite of a Variac, I guess. A Variac is allowing more power out of the wall.
Oh, so it was like pumping up the wall power. So it wasn't like down volting the. It wasn't like putting sag into his sound or something.
Now we gotta find this. Yeah, it can range from. So a Variac is a voltage adjustable source for AC electricity. Usually plugged into a wall, you get 120 volts at 60 hertz, but this can go from 0 to 140 volts.
Okay. So was he undervolting the amp though to get a different distortion?
I don't know enough to confidently say, but he was doing something. It was under or over, and I can't remember which. But
I thought the Van Halen stuff was undervolt, which it's like battery sag in a it's like battery sag in a fuzz or something. It was like a little like that, but he was doing it to the amp. I think
I've seen this red one.
Yeah,
with the big ass knob on it. So this
fucking thing,
this fucking big ass motherfucker. A couple outlets on it. From
Power Shack. Hold on, I have to look at this from Power Shack.
Is this the evolutionary form of Radio Shack?
This has probably Pokemon. Got that knob. That's the kind of thing that I was turning when I was adjusting the. But this is. I don't know if this is the same because it depends where that is because there's a difference between doing this to DC and then converting to AC, which maybe this is doing it. Variable transformer. Look at that. Except this one pumps out a maximum of 1,000 VA.
Yeah. Wicked. Absolutely nasty stuff. Yeah. So anyway. Pick up a 2 notes.
This is just a free-form riffing episode.
Hey, man. You like jazz? So, yeah. And then he also asked about a power supply that I know sincerely nothing about and looks nothing like a power supply that I'm familiar with. So I'm going to say...
Right, let me play a short sound and then hit me with a link. And we're just going to... we're going to tear it apart right now. No, we're doing it. Okay. We're doing it right now.
Fuck. All right.
All right.
I'm still looking. I'm still looking for the Wright product. It must be this. This is the. I just want to make sure I get like the actual product name correct.
Yeah.
Because it's like he mentioned it's the Power Station PS2 is what he said from Fryette Amplification, but I'm seeing the Power Station PS2A, and I just wanted to make sure that was the correct thing. So
a revision.
Here's a link to that. And I don't know what in the heck it is other than, what is it? A variable reactive load and vacuum tube power. Oh, now I know what it be. Okay.
Is it a power amp?
Make your big amp whisper. Make your little amp scream. Ugh, new for 2016. Yikes. Okay.
All right, so there's a lot of text on this page. I'm just going to stick with the images here. Can I zoom in on that? I can. Look at that. Fantastic. So integrated reactive amplifier. I think this is a load box and a power amp.
Yeah, I think so. Which is probably why it's $900.
Yeah, so probably it is an amp. Look, it's got a bypass button and everything. Yeah, it's an amp that you can feed another amp, a smaller amp, into.
Jesus.
This is something else, man. This is a great thing to put in a podcast about a guitar.
So yeah, check out the back panel.
Okay. Wrong way. That's the side. We're almost there. That's the other side. What the fuck's going on? This is a diagram. Why can't I find the back fucking panel of this thing? Oh my God. There we are. We got it. We got it, everybody. We made it.
I forget why I sent you to this picture. I think it was just to show you that there's more bits here.
There are some, I can see some tubes in there.
Yeah.
So we've got typical stuff that you're going to find on a tube power amp, which is switchable impedance. Mm-hmm. For dual speaker outs, amp in. So it's going to take up to 200 watt amp right there. And you're telling it what impedance the amplifier is feeding. So you can feed it 2, 4, 8, or 16, and you can feed it out to 2, 4, 8, or 16. Some of the what 2 ohm load are you putting this fucking massive piece of shit into? Some bass player is like, hold on, I got my 2 ohm speakers. We're about to move some air. Jesus. The balanced line out. It's got an effects send and return.
Wow.
The line out has a trim. There's a fuse here.
Yep.
This particular one is a 240 volt. So that is England, Europe, as they say.
Yeah.
Is Fryette from
I actually don't know. I'm not too familiar with them. Boop-a-doop. Everything else is in inches. So I'm not totally sure.
I think they just have different models because it
could be, yeah.
If I X out of this, like right below.
Oh, there is a USA version separately.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
All
so right. This is a cool thing. An attenuator for controlling the volume of high power amps with none of the drawbacks of conventional attenuators.
What are those drawbacks? Are they going to fill me in on that? Because that would be great info for us to know right about now.
Preserves the tone. Well, okay. I mean, I think when you're shopping for an attenuator, like you're either serious about it or you're not, right? Like you're either spending like a lot of money on one because you need that thing for real.
Yeah, these days where you can just get an HX thump and fucking be done with it. Exactly. So that's the thing. Like, so if you're shopping for an attenuator, I think I'm getting to the core of what you're saying here is it's because it has to be this way. It's because you're more of a cork sniffer now than the Edge. And you just won't give up your amp no matter what. So it's time to attenuate it.
A high-quality adjustable reactive load for silent recording. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just if you want all the things in one box instead of having more stuff. But I don't know, not for me.
But like with the power amp and in addition to it, like so that means it's going to accept the up to 200 watt amp, an idea of? And then it's going to start spewing power.
You know what this is for?
What's this for?
Kemper.
So,
what do you think?
But then why is it a reactive load? Why isn't it just an amp? Do Kempers have amps? Some of them do, I guess.
You can buy it without an amp. Like you can buy the Kemper with an integrated power amp or not.
Okay.
And so I'm thinking you dial up your modeled Kemper tone and you need a power amp to send that to a cab. But you also have an IR. But you could just load the IR into the Kemper. Damn it.
And also, why does it have a reactive load?
Yeah, never mind.
This is weird.
I was close.
I love it. Okay, like I love it.
Yeah.
This is a glorious, shining example of the stupidity of human ingenuity.
It says, allows you to extend the voicing of any amplifier, such as a vintage amp can sound more modern, a modern amp sound more vintage, a dull amp sound more alive, and a spongy amp can sound tighter.
Wait, it's got dual 6L6s. That's not even that high powered. Like if you can feed 200 watts into it. So that's, you know what that is? That's like an amp that you don't like the sound of.
Yeah.
You could use with this, which is like a big what the fuck does this exist for, right? I don't like the sound of my amp, so I'm going to make it better by insisting that we still use it and making that possible through this reactive load box that then is going to reamp my unamped, badly sounding amp instead of just getting something that sounds good, which are cheap now because of modeling.
They're saying
that's
like
my thesis.
Any small amp like a Tiny Terror, a Tweed Champ, AC15, and so on, you can extend the voice range of that amp. So like you can add a bunch of lows to a Princeton or something like that, which is okay, cool. I kind of get it, but at the same time, like this is a $900 product, so like we just go. I mean, I know that that loudness is not the only reason to get something like this, but you could get a bigger amp, not a better amp, but a bigger amp, and
get an amp that sounds the way you want. Like, why are you fucking around with this thing? Because are you just on the little amp train? You're just every day you have a different little amp in there, and but then you also need to make them not sound like little amps. Like, why are you trying to make the little amp work by making it sound different than a little amp? Right? This is the thing that I don't understand about it, I guess, is why aren't we just switching to a big amp, or why aren't we using a modeler new for 2016? Okay, so this thing is like age is old, like, so.
Yeah. Helix came out in 2015 for reference. So like it was
on the edge. This is
on the edge of all that stuff. Yeah. So I mean, maybe that's the deal, today, that this conversation is way different than when this thing was launched. But
we're looking right now at a fork in the timeline, and history went the other way. It might have gone this way, but it didn't. There's somewhere out there, there's an alternate universe filled with this sort of shit. And Line 6 is like, damn, we made the wrong call. And they're like a nothing company. And nobody's using modelers, and everybody is using Tiny Terrors, but they're using them with this so that they don't sound like Tiny Terrors. And Orange is like, we did it! We're the king! Slash is like, check out my new signature amp. It's a Tiny Terror.
It's an Orange with a Variac.
It's an Orange with a Variac and then a Fayette power station, and it's wrapped in snakeskin. And this is the combo that makes my sound. It's alternate. This is Bizarro Slash.
He wears he's bald. I was going to say he wears a different hat, but he's just totally bald.
He puts it upside down. I don't know where to get
no hat and no hair. Anyway, thing of the week. Lord. Should we just like finish this shit up?
Should we just no, I wanted to hold on. I want to put this in. I want to put this.
Oh, okay.
So this is here. In fact, there's going to be one more thing. That one does sound fucking awesome. Oh God, there's like 6 guitars in there. All right. Okay. Anyway, this is I actually saw this a little ways ago. Wait, why does it say March 4? Like, I definitely saw this not like longer ago than that. Oh, well, whatever. Maybe I'm making it up. So, okay. So what do we have here? I think this is like a homemade project or something like that, but optical guitar pickup. Okay. This is an optical guitar pickup that somebody made. This is from the website Hackaday, which I don't know, comes up in my newsfeed a lot. They do a lot of funny little projects from clever people. So the idea here is, and here's a little video of it working, but basically it's a pickup that will work on a nylon string guitar because it's optical instead of being magnetic. Honestly, I struggle to imagine what it sounds like They have a little thing here where I could just play it. Let's see if I play. Okay. I mean, I was distorting it there, but yeah. That's about what I expected. So I was basically thinking this probably sounds like an electric guitar if it had nylon strings, right? Because there's no acoustic, we're not reading the acoustic properties of the strings. We're translating their vibrations directly into voltage, like an electric guitar pickup. And it's just doing it with a LED and a sensor. And
so the string material doesn't really matter.
Right, exactly. In fact, if you put this on a steel string guitar, it would work. And it would sound just like this.
That still sounded like a nylon, and I'm wondering what it is about nylon string guitars that make that sound now, if not the string.
Because they're like flat. It's because the winding and just the sort of the tonality of the mass. Yeah. Well, because I mean, they're not all flat wound, are they? But they're effectively flat wound, and they have a different sort of sound. That's my interpretation, anyway.
I think I'm perhaps in the minority. I don't really care for the sound of nylon string guitars. Especially when it comes to introducing a pickup into them. I think it really amplifies the, pun intended, the like sort of plasticky, like PVC pipe quality that piezos can have sometimes.
Exactly. It's kind of a weird thing, right? This kind of a weird thing because like why... You obviously, the reason to do this is to plug it into an amp. Yeah. So, I mean, are we getting like the cake sound, right? Where you're like distorting an acoustic guitar is basically what we're talking about.
I mean, this is,
I think it's a cool project,
It is a very cool project. Like as far as proof of concept and like the idea of it, amazing. Yeah. I'm here for it. I love this. Yeah. But also like maybe pick a better sounding guitar.
Yeah, well, but the point of
this is maybe a jerk.
Okay, so Derek hates nylon strings, but
I don't hate them. I just don't.
They are the way they are because you want that sound acoustically, not because you planned on putting a pickup on it. And it's. I think this is interesting because obviously this does. The only other way to do it would be like some of these like transducer under the bridge kind of thing. It's not a piezo kind of thing, but you find different ways of basically treating it with like a microphone rather than a contact pickup kind of situation. And this is a little bit more the other way. I think it's just a clever bit of hacking nonsense. So anyway, that sort of stuff comes up in my news feed because they know I'm a sucker for it.
It's a very smart idea, and like I very much appreciate the work that went into this to just have the idea is so great. Like it's the whole thing is an awesome idea. I just don't like nylons. Like it's not their fault. It's got nothing to do with this project, like it's
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I do. I don't know. I think they just always sound a little plasticky. Like, I don't know.
They're
nylon?
Literally plastic, Derek. What do you want?
I know. And I just don't dig that. And it's such a weird thing to me that like that sound is so ubiquitous. Like it's so popular. It's one of the major sounds of
whole genres of music that are based around it.
I know that. And it boggles me. I'm absolutely like bamboozled about it. But anyway.
Oh my God. Well, what makes you think I have a thing of the week picked out, Derek?
I don't know. Hope.
Hope, prayers.
Yeah. What do I have in here?
Should I play? I'm going to play the Fat Bee.
My thing of the week is I went to PAX East last week. It was on Thursday. I went.
Okay.
My first time since the pandemic, and I used to go to that pretty much every year for multiple days. It's a gaming convention, mostly centered around video games, but they do have a board gaming element. And it was a place for a long time that had like major premiere titles, big AAA titles, all the big console people were there. Sony and Microsoft were there. Not so much the case anymore. It's far more indie run or organized, which I like. I think it's very cool because I can learn about Baldur's Gate anywhere. I don't need to learn about it at PAX, But I can talk to the actual developers of a game that I'm playing right then, which is very cool. So anyway, PAX is fun. There's also like all kinds of like gaming adjacent things, including like merch and tabletop RPG things. This is a long way of saying like I got this wicked enamel pin that's like it's got to be 2.5 inches across, and it is a samurai riding a triceratops. And that's it. That's my whole recommendation.
That's your thing.
Is this?
Is ride a triceratops and be a samurai. That's Derek's.
Look how big it is. Like it's big enough to be like it's like embroidered size on my sweater. Yeah, it's fucking huge. And that's my recommendation is to get this pin. I gotta find somewhere to keep it because it's like it's a little too big to just wear on your shirt.
It's gonna pull your shirt down, dude.
Yeah, but it's I'll put it on like my bag or something like that because it's like it's a fucking samurai riding a triceratops. Let me say it again. And look at the banner even has a triceratops on it. It's awesome. I love it. I wish this camera would focus on it, but whatever.
Okay.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Rad. Okay, I'm going to think of something fun that I saw recently. Hold on. I could do this. Oop, this is signed into the wrong account. Shit. How am I going to find this?
Cut all this silence out later.
Cut all the silence out. So I don't know if you just saw this. This is a thing that happened some time ago. There was a guy who made a combination Super NES and PlayStation 1. So he basically modified one of the later releases of the Super NES so that it could play discs, and they sort of mounted vertically on a little post and they would spin. You could see him spinning, and then he adjusted, he like added controller ports.
I've seen that.
Both of the systems were in the box, so it could still play the cartridges. So it's this wild guy, James Channel. So anyway, we're gonna hit this, and I'm just gonna stop it.
Yes, I found a Kotaku article.
Okay, so the latest thing that I just saw from him, and I'll throw a little picture up on here of his channel. So he bought a like AliExpress NES clone. Okay, so that's what this box is that we see in the video. I'll put it into big mode. But what we're trying to achieve here is actually he is making an NES game that is an NES. Okay, so he found... So this cartridge here, this is like a Mario Golf or something, Mario Open or whatever that NES game is. He cuts open that package and he installs the NES clone circuitry inside the game cart so that the game cart is an NES, and he adds the controller ports and the power switches and AV out.
Fun.
But he leaves the game, so the mission is not complete unless it's still an NES cart. So he leaves the game intact. And awesome. I don't know if I could find a freeze frame of like the final product, like here. I mean, the cart has to still fit in a real NES, and then he has to be able to play an NES game on his NES cart. And then
it's just
to complete the thing at the very end, he rigs some
oh my God.
EU versus PAL adapters so that the game can play itself using this ribbon cable that he wires up. This fucking the Ouroboros of NES carts. And he actually got
you know what that reminds me of? Remember like you remember like the serial ports, like the serial data port that's like really big, like the old printer connectors. I love seeing pictures of people like adapting those down to like USB-C
with like 6 different things. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So this guy, he's really funny I mean, it's not just that he did this, but he's very funny the way he does the projects. He makes a very funny video about it where he narrates the whole thing, and he's hacking and cutting these things. He's like, I need this chip. And he just like breaks the PCB in half to get the chip out and stuff. I don't need the rest of this crap.
That's funny.
It's really funny, and he does it. He completes it by the end. He gets an NES game that will play in a real NES, will play real NES games at the same time, and then he makes it play itself with this ribbon cable, and it's just, I mean, full circle, outstanding. James Channel, it literally just says his channel is James Channel. Is that his name? Is his name James Channel or something, and I just don't know it? Anyway, whatever.
I mean, he's got 160,000 subscribers, so joke's on us, I guess. But
oh yeah, no, he's the real deal. So anyway, that's a fun pick from me. There you go.
Love it. Hey man, this was a weird one.
I had fun. It's great.
Yeah. You want to get out of here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
My mood is much repaired from where we started.
Oh, good.
So, yes.
Good. I like that. Well, the show did its magic for Justin, and hopefully it did the same for you. And if you like what you hear, you can go into the show notes where you can find a link to our Patreon, our Discord server, and our newsletter. And the newsletter is going to be your first little tip for giveaways that we do. So
something coming up soon. Not
one of those
not
is kind of coming
maybe
soon.
Next time.
Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Next time.
Anyway. For as little as $1 a month, you can support the show, and that goes directly into things like funding giveaways for the community. So if that's something you want to be a part of, awesome. The Patreon supporters for this episode are Rabbi Bob, Gabe Drohl, Carson Ricketts, Mathew Fenselau, Riesenwolf, Brian Gower of the Tone Jerks podcast, Andrew Walsh of Andrew's Alcove, Sean Wright of Lollygagger Effects, Doug Gann, and because of this, Bon Jovi.
Until next time, keep adventuring.
Oh no, yeah. I just realized I've made a terrible mistake this episode.
What'd you do?
I wrote down only 2 titles. Anyway, we'll find out what they are in a minute.
Okay,
bye-bye.